hopefully you'll get this part of the video. I decided to add a little tidbit at the end. I thought of something after I was done with the video. The eggshells. I would recommend not throwing your eggshells away and not even throwing them in your compost. What I would recommend doing, this is what I do, is save them, dry them out, just like leave them somewhere that they'll be out of the way so they can dry. You don't have to put them in your oven and stink up your house, because they stink really bad when you cook them. And if you have the chickens, you can crush them up, make it into, blend them up, make it into a fine powder. Let me show you my powder. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So you can grind it up into this fine powder. See that? With your blender, just dry them out. If you don't use your blender much, you can just throw them in the blender and just, you know, let me put the top on it and just keep adding to it, and then wait. I would recommend waiting at least 4 days till your last eggshell has been put in there, so you make sure it's dry, because if it's not dry, it'll gook up your blender and it kind of ruins your eggshells, and then you gotta, and it's hard to deal with. But anyways, I would recommend putting it, if you don't use your blender often, throwing them all in the blender, letting them dry right there. They're out of the way and they're ready to blend when you're ready to blend. Then just blend them up here. Then you get this nice powder. You can feed it back to your chickens. I know there's a theory that chickens will eat their eggs if you put the raw eggshells in there after you use them. That's not true, not in my experience anyways. I fed the eggshells without even drying them out. Just fed them right back to the chickens. They never started eating their own eggs. Usually what happens, if your chickens do quote unquote eat their eggs or destroy their eggs, it's because their eggshells are so weak from lack of calcium that they'll accidentally kick them or something, you know, fall over on them, whatever, and it cracks them. And they peck at everything. And then they'll eat the egg because it's already cracked open. But even then, they won't start going and destroying their eggs. They just don't do that. And anyways, so if you don't have chickens, you can put this in directly in the soil, either when you're right before you till, and then you could spread it on till so it'll get ground in the dirt, or you could do this both, you know, you could do them both. When you're planting your tomatoes, when you dig your hole, sprinkle a little bit of this powder, this eggshell powder, in the hole before you put your tomato plant in, and then bury it. Great resource. But if you don't want to do that, or you don't have a garden, just throw it in your compost if you want. Anyways, thank you very much for listening.